Today we're going to talk about graphing linear equations. What does that mean? It means that we are going to make lines on the graph using the numbers in our equation. This number and this number. So the first number we look at is this right here, the number that's by itself, the one that's not touching the x. That number is called our y-intercept. In other words, where the line crosses the y-axis. In number 1, the line crosses the y-axis at -3. So that's where I put my first dot on my graph, at -3 on the y-axis. From there, I look at my other number, -6/5. Because the slope is negative, this number touching the x, I know that my line is going to go in this direction, negative slope. If it was a positive slope, my line would go in this direction. So from here, I need to move up 6 and to the left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where my second point goes. If I was using paper and a pencil, I would take my ruler and connect those dots. Because I'm using the smartboard to do that, I'm just going to draw the line in like this. And then to finish that off, as you'll see, I have a straight line. I now have to draw arrowheads on both ends. And I'm done. Moving on to number 2. Again, I look at the number that's by itself. It says +1. That tells me I go to 1 on the y-axis and put my first point. My slope is the same as it was last time, -6/5, so I know my line is going to be moving in this direction. So last time I went up 6 and to the left 5. When I try to do that on this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I can't go up 6. So I can go down 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But instead of going to the left, I have to go to the right. Why? Why do I go to the right? Because I still want my line looking like this, going in this direction, because it's a negative slope. So you have to remember these when you are graphing your lines. Is it a positive number? Is it a negative number? And make sure that your line is going in that direction. It's a negative slope, so I need my line going in that direction. So that's how I know that my second point should be here and not here. Now I can go in and sketch my line from here up. And then draw in the arrows. And I'm done. Okay, Mrs. Conway, if you would like to pause the movie, you guys can go ahead and try number 3 and number 4, and then check your work. I'll go ahead and draw the answers in. Okay, so this is what you should have for 3 and 4. Compare yours to what mine look like. You should have nice straight lines going across the graph, arrowheads on both ends. Make sure you're using rulers to draw your lines in. Your lines are nice and straight going through both points. Double check for errors. Are your lines going in the right direction? Positive line goes up this way, negative line's going down that way. If you're making a mistake, check and figure out where your mistake is. Are you plotting your first point on the y-axis? Are you then moving, given this information on the slope? On number 4, I plotted the 2, positive 2 on the y-axis, and then I moved down 1 over 2. You might have noticed that I did 3 points altogether. I went down 1 over 2 again. It's just something that I like to do to make sure my line is precise. Moving on to the next 2. Number 5, you should be able to do on your own. I'll go ahead and graph the answer to that in a minute. I want to talk about number 6. What do you notice that's different about number 6? This number right here, the -3, is not written as a fraction. And we need to have it as a fraction so we can tell how many we're going up or down and then how many we're moving over. So I need to rewrite that -3 as a fraction by putting it over 1. Then I go ahead and start at 5. I can't go up 3 and over 1. So I'm going to go down 3 and over 1 this way. And I go this way because it's negative, so I want the line going in that direction. Start at that point, going down. Sketch in my arrowheads. If you haven't done number 5 yet, go ahead and do that. Right, and then there's 2 more for you to do on your own. Mrs. Conway's going to check your answers. Thank you very much. Good job.